I have 4 siblings, all born at Crouse. I was the only one not born at Crouse. For a brief period, when I was born, we lived in Rochester. But I remember as a child, my mother always could only be described as being a raving fan of Crouse Memorial, as it was called back then. She spoke about how with great care she received during her pregnancies and her surgeries. Crouse saved my mother's life. Let me explain. When I was in the 4th grade, my mother was pregnant, and she was in her 40s. A risky pregnancy in her 40s, but my mother's pregnancy was classified as high risk in particular. So I remember one morning getting ready for school, my mother going into labor. And I remember before that, whenever my mom went into labor, it was an exciting, fun, happy time. That wasn't the case this morning. I remember very clearly my mother saying something was wrong. There was a lot of panic and commotion, and they sent me off to school. And later that day at school, the principal walked into my classroom, spoke to our teacher, and they said that my father and 2 sisters were there to pick me up. They asked me to go and get my coat and to leave with my father. I remember very clearly this day going into that coat closet. It was a big coat closet, and I walked in and I grabbed my coat, I put it on. I was alone and I was scared because I saw that they were serious and they were sad, and I knew something was wrong. So I left with my father and 2 sisters, and he drove me to my parents' friend's house, where he explained that my mother had had a stillbirth, a little girl, and that my mother was fighting for her life. I stayed at my parents' friend's house a few days, and I got updates on my mother. And so finally they came and picked me up and brought me home as my mother had survived. Crouse Memorial had saved her life. And so years later, I made it my mission to get involved, and I'm so excited about being involved in the Crouse Health NICU unit, and specifically in the Polo for Preemies. At Howard Hanna, the company I represent, we're one of the main sponsors every year, because I look at it this way. The NICU unit, the only regional perinatal unit in central New York, serving 14 counties from as far north as northern New York, central New York, down into the southern tier, saving little babies no bigger than the palm of my hand. And the physicians and the employees and the staff care so much, and they save so many lives. It's just something I feel strongly about giving back. My mom would be happy.